Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. Good morning. I'm John, an old YouTuber. It's Sunday today. It's 9:40. I think I like to read about the German Autobahn because I'm living in Denmark, north of Germany. I have not been traveling like 25 or 30 years. I think that would be good if I just start to travel to Germany. There's a lot of countries around Germany like France, Switzerland, Austria, and Poland and Czechoslovakia. Yes, still 15,300 subscribers. But just got up my bed, so I'm still a little bit sleepy. But I did download all this yesterday, all this Carl Benz, Bertha Benz, Gottlieb, so maybe take some of them, but I think I like to read about Autobahn and Germany. Then we could continue with Carl Benz, some of the Mercedes, I don't know, then go back to the Teutonic order, but actually this PDF should be about Intel and computers and computer hardware. It will do that later, but I need to read something else than just about computer hardware and IT companies. Yes, but I'm still a little bit sleepy. It's 9:30 and I'd like to get started. I was looking at second-hand used cars yesterday, mostly German cars like Mercedes, Audi, BMW, Opel and Volkswagen, brands like that. But they are a little bit more expensive than other used cars, but I think they are in a better quality than 20 years old Japanese cars. Or brands like Peugeot, Renault and Citroën. I think 20-year-old Mercedes is maybe in a better quality than 15 years old Citroën or Peugeot or something like that, or Toyota. I'm not sure. But they are built like Mercedes is built like luxury cars. They are not built like budget cars. Yes, let's get started. Read, that's 30 pages. The Autobahn, that's the highway, German highway, or the German freeway. They still have free speed somewhere. Activate the voice. Read end of documents.
Autobahn. Bundesautobahn Zeekin 330, Autobahn, STVO 1992.svg. Bundesautobahn 2 number.svg. Bundesautobahn 14 number.svg. Bundesautobahn 63 number.svg. Bundesautobahn 995 number.svg. Selected Autobahn signs with route markers for Bundesautobahn 2, 14, 63 and 995 Autobahn in Deutschland.svg. A map of the German Bundesautobahn network system information maintained by Bundesministerium für Verkehr und Digitalinfrastruktur, length 13,192 km, 2021, 8,197 mi. Highway names Autobahns Bundesautobahn X, BABX or AX. Website //www.autobahn.de/en/its. The Autobahn, IPA, Autobahn, listen, German plural Autobahnen, is the federal controlled access highway system in Germany. The official German term is Bundesautobahn, abbreviated BAB, which translates as Federal Motorway. The literal meaning of the word Bundesautobahn is federal auto, mobile, track. German Autobahnen are widely known for having no federally mandated general speed limit for some classes of vehicles. 1. However, limits are posted and enforced in areas that are urbanized, substandard, accident-prone, or under construction. On speed unrestricted stretches, an advisory speed limit, Richtgeschwindigkeit, of 130 km per hour, 81 miles per hour, applies. While driving faster is not illegal as such in the absence of a speed limit, it can cause an increased liability in the case of a collision, which mandatory auto insurance has to cover. Court Shave ruled that an ideal driver who is exempt from absolute liability for inevitable tort under the law would not exceed Richtgeschwindigkeit. A 2017 report by the Federal Road Research Institute reported that in 2015 70.4% of the Autobahn network had only the advisory speed limit, 6.2% had temporary speed limits due to weather or traffic conditions, and 23.4% had permanent speed limits. 2. Measurements from the German state of Brandenburg in 2006 showed average speeds of 142 km per hour, 88 miles per hour, on a 6-lane section of Autobahn in free-flowing conditions. 3. Contents. Network map. Names. Construction numbering system. History. Early years 1930s. World War II. West Germany 1949-1990. East Germany 1949-1990. A 3 and a 5 at Frankfurter Kreuz near Frankfurt am Main. Overhead signage on Autobahn. A 3 near Frankfurt Airport. Reunification 1990. Present day. Length. German-built Riksautobahnen in other countries. Current density. Facilities. Emergency telephones. Parking, rest areas, and truck stops. Speed limits. Public debate. Early history. After the World Wars. Oil crisis of the 1970s. Environmental concerns of the 1980s. German reunification. Since reunification. Safe to safety, international comparison. Travel speeds. Toll roads. Traffic laws and enforcement. In popular culture, film and television. Music. Video games. See also. References. Further reading. External links. Network map. Interactive map of Autobahn names. Only federally built controlled access highways with certain construction standards, including at least toll lanes per direction, are called Bundesautobahn. They have their own white on blue signs and numbering system. In the 1930s, when construction began on the system, the official name was Rieksautobahn. Various other controlled access highways exist on the federal, Bundesstraße, state, Landesstraße, district and municipal level, but are not part of the Autobahn network and are officially referred to as Kraftfahrerstraße, with rare exceptions, like a 995 Munich-Gissing-Bruntal until 2018. These highways are considered Autobahnähnlich, Autobahn-like, and are sometimes colloquially called Gelbe Autobahn, Yellow Autobahn, because most of them are Bundesstraßen, federal highways, with yellow signs. Some controlled access highways are classified as Bundesautobahn in spite of not meeting the Autobahn construction standard, for example, the A62 near Pirmasens. Similar to some other German words, the term Autobahn when used in English is usually understood to refer specifically to the national highway system of Germany, whereas in German the word Autobahn is applied to any controlled highway in any country. For this reason in German, the more specific term Bundesautobahn is strongly preferred when the intent is to make specific reference to Germany's Autobahnnetwork. Construction. Similar to high-speed motorways in other countries, Autobahns have multiple lanes of traffic in each direction, separated by a central barrier with grade-separated junctions and access restricted to motor vehicles with a top speed greater than 60 km per hour, 37 miles per hour. Nearly all exits are to the right, rare left-hand exits result from incomplete interchanges where the straight-on leads into the exit. The earliest motorways were flanked by shoulders about 60 centimeters, 24 in width, constructed of varying materials. Right-hand shoulders on many autobahns were later retrofitted to 120 centimeters, 47 in width when it was realized cars needed the additional space to pull off the autobahn safely. In the post-war years, a thick asphaltic concrete cross-section with full paved hard shoulders came into general use. The top design speed was approximately 160 km per hour, 99 miles per hour, in flat country, but lower design speeds were used in hilly or pattern of autobahns 10 to 999 mountainous terrain. A flat country autobahn that was constructed to meet standards during the Nazi period could support the speed of up to 150 km per hour, 93 miles per hour, on curves. Numbering system. The current autobahn numbering system in use in Germany was introduced in 1974. All autobahns are named by using the capital letter A, which simply stands for Autobahn followed by a blank and a number, for example A8. The main autobahns going all across Germany have a single-digit number. Shorter autobahns that are of regional importance, for example connecting two major cities or regions within Germany, have a double-digit number, for example A24 connecting Berlin and Hamburg. The system is as follows: a 10 to a 19 are in eastern Germany, Berlin, Saxony-Anhalt, parts of Saxony and Brandenburg. A 20 to a 29 are in northern and northeastern Germany. A 30 to a 39 are in Lower Saxony, northwestern Germany, and Thuringia. A 40 to a 49 are in the Rhine-Ruhr to Frankfurt Rhine-Main. A 52 to a 59 are in the Lower Rhine region to Cologne. A 60 to a 67 are in Rhineland-Palatinate, Saarland, Hesse and northern Baden-Württemberg. A 70 to a 73 are in Thuringia, northern Bavaria and parts of Saxony. A 81 is in Baden-Württemberg. A 90 to a 99 are in southern Bavaria. A 98 is in Baden-Württemberg. There are also some very short autobahns built just for local traffic, for example ring roads or the A555 from Cologne to Bonn, that usually have 3 digits for numbering. The first digit used is similar to the system above. Depending on the region. East-west routes are even numbered, north-south routes are odd numbered. The north-south autobahns are generally numbered from west to east. That is to say, the more easterly roads are given higher numbers. Similarly, the east-west routes are numbered from north, lower numbers, to south, higher numbers. History. Early years. The idea for the construction of the Autobahn was first conceived in the mid-1920s during the days of the Weimar Republic. But the construction was slow, and most projected sections did not progress much beyond the planning stage due to economic problems and a lack of political support. One project was the private initiative HFRBA, which planned a car-only road crossing Germany from Hamburg in the Norvia Central Frankfurt am Main to Basel in Switzerland. Parts of the HFRBA were completed in the late 1930s and early 1940s. But construction eventually was halted by World War II. The first public road of this kind was completed in 1932 between Cologne and Bonn and opened by Konrad Adenauer, Lord Mayor of Cologne and future Chancellor of West Germany, on the 6th of August 1932. For today, that road is the Bundesautobahn 555.567. This road was not yet called Autobahn and lacked a center median like modern motorways, but instead was termed a Kraft for a Strasse, motor vehicle road, with 2 lanes each direction without intersections. Pedestrians, bicycles, or animal-powered transportation. 8. One of the center-pier-free bridges over the former Dessauer-Rennstrecke on the A9 Rijksautobahn in 1943. 1930s. Just days after the 1933 Nazi takeover, Adolf Hitler enthusiastically embraced an ambitious Autobahn construction project, appointing Fritz Todt, the Inspector General of German road construction, to lead it. By 1936, 130,000 workers were directly employed in construction, as well as an additional 270,000 in the supply chain for construction equipment, steel, concrete, signage, maintenance equipment, etc. In rural areas, new camps to house the workers were built near construction sites. 9. The job creation program aspect was not especially important because full employment was almost reached by 1936. However, according to one source, Autobahn workers were often conscripted through the compulsory Rijkslabor service, and thereby moved from the unemployment registry. 10. The Autobahns were not primarily intended as major infrastructure improvement of special value to their military as often stated. Their military value was limited as all large-scale military transportation in Germany was done by train to save fuel. The propaganda ministry turned the construction of the Autobahns into a major media event that attracted international attention. 11. The Autobahns formed the first limited-access, high-speed road network in the world, with the first section from Frankfurt am Main to Darmstadt opening in 1935. This straight section was used for high-speed record attempts by the Grand Prix racing teams of Mercedes-Benz and Auto Union until a fatal accident involving popular German race driver Bernd Rosemeyer in early 1938. The world record of 432 km per hour, 268 miles per hour, set by Rudolf Caracciola on this stretch just prior to the accident, remains one of the highest speeds ever achieved on a public motorway. In the 1930s, a 10-kilometer stretch of what is today Bundesautobahn 9 just south of Dessau, called the Dessauer-Rennstrecke, had bridges with no piers and was designed for cars like the Mercedes-Benz T80 to attempt to make land speed records. The T80 was to make a record attempt in January 1940, but plans were abandoned after the outbreak of World War II in Europe in September 1939. World War II. During World War II, many of Germany's workers were required for various war production tasks. Construction work on the Autobahn system therefore increasingly relied on forced workers and concentration camp inmates, and working conditions were very poor. As of 1942, when the war turned against the Third Reich, only 3,800 kilometers, 2,400 mi, out of a planned 20,000 kilometers, 12,000 mi, of Autobahn had been completed. 10. Meanwhile, the median strips of some Autobahns were paved over to allow their conversion into auxiliary strips. Aircraft were either stashed in numerous tunnels or camouflaged in nearby woods. However, for the most part during the war, the Autobahns were not militarily significant. Motor vehicles, such as trucks, could not carry goods or troops as quickly or in as much bulk and in the same numbers as trains could, and autobahns could not be used by tanks as their weight and caterpillar tracks damaged the road surface. The general shortage of petrol in Germany during much of the war, as well as the low number of trucks and motor vehicles needed for direct support of military operations, further decreased the Autobahn's significance. As a result, most